I do not know which of the three technical terms is applicable to this video of today. Sometimes I believe that 1, 2, 3, or even none applies here. But then I think I'll have to explain the three terms so that my viewer can decide whether the topic is 0, 1, 2, or even all the three. The first terminology is called turning operation. Turning operation. That is a very technical, all the three are technical terms within the intelligence. What is turning operation? Turning operation is that you can be running your own organization, whatever it is. Let me give you a very simple example. Maybe you are Madam Karanja, who owns Keroche Industry. And then you find that one of the employees in your Keroche Industry has been planted there by Kenya breweries to be spying on Keroche Industries, to be spying on Keroche breweries, and then be passing information to that. That is a very simple way. So what do? If you go to that employee and tell him or her that I know you work for a hostile firm or organization, to be passing information to them, whether you sack him or her, whether you retain him or her, remember that that worker will immediately pass the information to the hostile or organization by saying tumetambuliwa. So the hostile organization will have to look for plan B or even C or whatever. It may require assigning another person within your organization to spy on you. Or it may do without spying. But be assured that once you have blown the identity of that spy and he or she passes the information to the hostile organization, remember that from that day onwards, the information that you'll be passing, the organization that is there will know that you already have blown his ID, so they will not use it. So, but what people do, what many intelligence and security organizations do, is that once you have noticed such a person from a hostile intelligence organization spying on you on behalf of a hostile organization, this is what they usually do. They usually start feeding that person with false information without that person knowing. And you see, it is not completely false. It is a doctored information that even he or she, while in your organization, believes that that is the correct thing, but you are pumping that person with false information, and he unknowingly passes that. That is what we call a turning operation. You have taken a person, you have turned now. Instead of him or her picking information from you and passing to a hostile organization, that person now passes the information thinking that it is true, whereas it is you who has passed misinformation through him. Remember, he or she does not need to know that he has been known. He doesn't know whatever. Or other way, or still on the turning operation, you can arrest that person. You remember Museveni saying that he gathers intelligence in Nairobi, and he knows what Babu Owino does. So when you know that an intelligence officer from another organization is spying on you, and you feel that you want to do the turning operation, you can arrest him in a compromising situation. And then you tell him to choose between two systems. Does he go to jail, or does he voluntarily start giving information, doctored information? Now, this is the there is the covert where the agent does not know that he's being fed with wrong information. And then there is this one. You can get him in a compromised situation and tell him, do I take you to the Kenyan court so that you are jailed in 20 years? That is the turning operation. The turning operation is having that person, turning operation is having that person give information which is doctored, whether he knows it or not. The second thing, now I've explained turning operation. The second thing is what we call double agent. Most of them are double agents, but they can be triple agent or even quadruple agent or pentagon agent. These people, he has been sent to spy on an occasion. When he has been sent to spy on, let's say, a foreign country spying on Kenya, we can identify him as such and then offer him more money. For him more money. A very good example is the example of Nahashon Njenga. He had been sent by Tom Mboya to kill Jomo Kenyatta, and he was given, so he was serving two masters at the same time. Now that is killing, but when it comes to intelligence, you find that a double agent is giving to more than one organization. When these two organizations or more are agreeing to use the same agent, then that one is not a double agent. For example, Bruce Mackenzie. Bruce Mackenzie was an agent for British intelligence. At the same time, he was an agent for the CIA. He was an agent for the CIA, where he used to. He was an agent for the CIA, where he used to. Where he used to give them, but the CIA and the British intelligence and the Israel Mossad knew, and they were co-running him. Co-running him. Uh, Running is the intelligence word of managing him. So they were co-managing him. That one cannot be called a double agent. But you see, a double agent is a person who has been sent and somehow you convince him to also spy on the organization. He comes to you and tells you what is happening in the other country, and when he comes to this place, he tells the other country whatever. This is the most dangerous person because he's what we call kinyonga in Kiswahili, chameleon in English. There is a Swahili saying that it is only God and kinyonga who know the kinyonga's color, because he goes to where green is, he becomes green. That is the double agent or multi-agent. Lastly, I've talked of turning operation. I've talked about double agent. Now I'll talk about agent of influence. Agent of influence. This is a person like Raila Amolo Odinga. You know, when Kenya attained independence, the British wanted the people like Njonjo to rule Kenya in the future. The communists wanted Jaramogi, but they knew that Jaramogi was as old as Jomo Kenyatta. So the communists took out a primary school kid, the son of Jaramogi, and trained him to be an agent of influence, where he was to wait for the last minute until he was to become. Other agents of influence are also used by people like Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab, you remember there was, I think it was Dusit thing, where Al-Shabaab recruited somebody uh, and placed him in somewhere. So he stayed for quite a long time. And even there is the Dusit thing. This fellow was staying, I think, in outskirts of Nairobi towards Kiambu County, where he was waiting for the appropriate time to come and bomb the Dusit. We also know that the people who bombed the American embassy were also brought in for a long time. And even those people who fell down the World Trade Center, they had been taken to US and they were even trained. Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda had even financed for their training. They had financed for their training so as to wait for the appropriate time and take over. So viewers have explained one. Uh, I've explained about agent of influence. I've explained about double agent, and I've even explained about turning operation. I say these three things because, as I pen off, is that I've noticed, and I just wanted to place those people that people do not know JI-TENGE. I think the best people who know JI-TENGE are the people who knew JI-TENGE 4 years before he was sacked, up to 1 year before he was sacked. Um, I know what people are doing. I've seen cases uh, where people are trying to either place me as an agent on influence or as a double agent or something of that, whatever. Me, I am controlled by my conscience and I am controlled by God. I am controlled by my conscience and I'm controlled by God. I have seen cases where there is somebody who is it in Canada or US? When I went for my eye operation, he financed it. And he was waiting, he financed it, and we communicated with him so well. It happened that when my YouTube was hacked, this gentleman had already recorded all my YouTube in audio. And he even approached me trying to tell me that I just don't get the reason even today. And maybe he's even, you know, we may be blaming government agents for cracking my YouTube, but then you wonder somebody who has taken all your YouTube videos and recorded them in audio. So he was asking me as to give him permission to use those audio, and I sent him a static picture of myself, so that he now uploads those audio. He only needed, with the YouTube, if anybody uploads anything from you without permission, you just talk to them and that YouTube is taken off. So he wanted me. First of all, he had sent me money for my eye operation, and immediately I went public. I started a second channel and said that when I started a second channel and told the people that my this channel had been hacked, some young people, some young men, of course, assisted me in reversing it. But before, so as I was waiting for that, I'd even given up and started a second channel. This gentleman quickly told me that I don't know where he got this idea, that from my first video, he had recorded it in audio. Now he wanted me to send him a still picture so that he start uploading on his. As I was thinking that, the young men who assisted me recover came back. This is the same person whom we reached somewhere, and I told you that of the three people, there are those people, they have already planned it long ago. Imagine if you're being planned to be an agent on influence and somebody recruits you when you are still in primary school. So this is somebody who, even when I did not have 1,000 subscribers, he had already started recording my video in audio. And then we parted ways. We parted ways when I we parted ways. I remember the reason why we parted ways is when he started telling people. There is a time. Okay, I've remembered. Sorry, getting old, you forget things. Sorry, I've eaten into your bundles. But what I'm saying is that it reached a time when I had a list of 20 security personnel who had been sacked by Moi. And I decided that out of the 20 security officers, I started with the highest, who was Major General Karaoke. You can even see among the videos, there is Major General Karaoke. Then there was no brigadier. The next person was Colonel Colonel Mwema. Colonel Mwema. So I talked about Colonel Mwema, and this fellow had to phone me. He's a Luo. He said, "Do you know that? I mean, you are saying that you have people. Don't you have Luos there?" I said, "Why are you saying that?" Because I know he's a Luo. He said, "No, for you to be seen to be neutral and you to be seen and whatever, you should cease talking about people from other tribes and start talking about Luos. Eh? Tell us about Luos." I know a lot of Luos have suffered, but you see, like Private Ochuka. But you see, I had started from up there. Then he started uploading. It is just very stupid for that fellow. He's in Canada or US to have taken. I was brought up believing that any amount you contribute in medical, any amount you contribute on education, and any amount you contribute in funeral, those three things: funeral, education, and medication, you never. So he had saved all those things and said, "You see, I'm the one who paid their money to city hospital for you to undergo an expensive eye operation. That is very bad." So he had been paying for my eye medication for the simple reason that he would have wanted to control me later. Uh, that one I stopped. Then there is another one here, uh, calling himself a schooled professor something. I don't know the persons, because if somebody, and he said that he had contributed a lot. He was trying to control the content. He was trying to control the content of what I upload. Yes, my viewers can control me in the content. I can tell you. For example, if you look at it, I started this channel where mostly I was translating the Bible from English from English to Lingala, and most of you told me no. I mean, you did tell me don't talk about God or any no, but what happened was I found I was spending 5 times more times to talk to do research on how, research on Lingala. You have to think about the pronunciation. They write using French, whatever, but me, I write using uh, Bantu writing. So I even had to go to these people and ask them, am I pronouncing like you people? But then I found that it was a bit easier and a bit customer friendly. But these people are trying to say, you see, we are doing that on Pocket. That was bad. That was evil. As I'm speaking now, I have around 15 different people tell me, can you talk about it? You see, that is a good way. and I take time to think about what I'll talk next. That is a very good way. But somebody saying, I want you to place their Luos because I am the one who paid the city hospital. That city eye hospital is opposite traffic along Gong Road. So you stop that and place their names of Luos. And then this other one says, you see, I used to, I mean, I've paid a lot into you. He was calling himself unschooled pro. But I think I can know him because when you pay into, when you pay into the till number, your real name comes. Your real name comes, and I can see that. And for anybody paying anything into my till number, uh, you cannot use that. In fact, most of the people who tell me, "Can you tell us about Akin Kodek or anything?" They don't even send anything. Lastly, I would want to say that I have 42,000 subscribers, and if I was to give you my Euro account on what I get, there are times when there's even a time when till number is spent up to 10 days, nobody sends even a single cent. But on a good month, what people send me through till number, which is always there. You'll find that uh, if I were to sit with you and show you the statements I get for my Euro account because of this and that, you'll find that there are some months where I get 80% of my upkeep from the till number, and 20% from directly from that. And I said that was the last point, but I aside, I would say one of the problems that the Ruto government had with Gen C was when it was said that the government wants to tax content creation. If me with 42,000 subscribers, I was to tell you what I get from YouTube, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. Yeah, but I'm just comfortable by telling you that what you place there in YouTube in the till number, there are some months like December, they contribute up to 80% of what I get, and 20% comes from YouTube. And I would tell my subscribers that I prefer those people who I'm watching. I'm an intelligence officer. You find somebody sending you, let's say in a week, you get good money, and from the same person. After some hours, you get 1,000 shillings from the same person. Till number does not hide the person. You in social media, you can call yourself unschooled professor or something like that. But when you send me money to my till number, your real name comes. It is only that you don't know my Safaricom, my M-Pesa number. So I would encourage my viewers, instead of having these people who send good money and then they start controlling, lazima uweke watu ya kabila yangu, or you find somebody saying, are you answering me that? And you see, I've been sent. I'd rather have 100 people send me 50 shillings, which comes to a 5,000, than have one or two people who send 1,000 each, and they feel that they can command me. They can do the turning operation on me. They can do the double agent on me. And I want to assure people that whatever I say, I don't say it in anger. I don't say it in a way of, mostly I say it in a policy of information. I find that most of the intelligence work is not that secret the way people would want to. It is the way, I mean, I use that to tell the people. And to young men and young women, I have the last word. Oh, easy last zinakuwa last. They don't last. When you are happy with somebody, don't promise somebody anything. I tell you, you can win betika, you can win 1,000,000 shillings, and you go to 1,000,000 people, tell them nitakununulia kabambe, nitakununulia kabambe. Kabambe is 100 shillings, and you promise 1,000,000 people. That is a million shilling, 100 million shillings, and you have only won a million. So when you are very happy and feel philanthropic, don't tell the people. Write it on a paper. Then when you are annoyed with people na unataka kutukana hawa watu ile mbaya mbaya, usitukane. Go to the notebook, write. Give yourself time. I don't know how long it is. And then when you are back to normal, go and read that. If after 21 days you still have the same feeling, then go ahead. If somebody has annoyed you and you want to tukana yeye kabisa, after 21 days you still have that feeling, then tukana yeye, because that thing is. But when you are just annoyed and the next minute unatukana mtu, it doesn't, I mean, you may regret later, because you may say that is why many people apologize. Unajua bwana, unajua nilikuwa ni kwa hasira, hata sikuwa na time ya kufikiria. Or you promise somebody and then you fail to fulfill, and then you say, but if you promise somebody, you win a jackpot, and you tell 10 people, nitanunulia wewe kabambe, or I'll buy you a wristwatch. After 21 days, look at that notebook. If you still have that feeling, buy that person. Thank you.